Okay, hi. This is Christy. Week 10, Group 2. Cool ladies. And it's the special Halloween edition. And for whatever reason, um, I'm having trouble with YouTube, and this is the third time that I've tried to do this and upload it, and it hasn't worked yet. So forgive me. But hopefully, cross your fingers that third time's a charm, and it's going to work this time. So I'm going to go through this, and hopefully um, maybe not talk as much as I did on the other ones. But um, starting out, I'm going to start out with our group 2 questions before I do the all questions, because we had really awesome answers for the all questions. Not that we didn't on the other ones. So first question, according to Sumner and Sumner, what are the strengths and weaknesses of participatory research versus the other forms? And so looking at participatory, the observation and research, pulling together our answers, we all came up with some really key words, words that really, I think, described, um, you know, the pros of participatory research. So, one, it allows you to feel more, it allows you to experience. So, you're really feeling part of what it is that you're researching, part of the group. You're active and engaged in this process because you're actually taking part of it. It allows you to establish trust easier with people because you're actually building a relationship with them and you have an emotional tie to what you're doing. So those are the pros, and they obviously, contribute a lot to what you're doing. However, some of the cons are that it tends to make you too invested. You can lose your biasness, and it can even be stress and anxiety inducing conducting research that way. And Kara had an awesome correlation with the Stanford prison experiment and how, in that example, he was too invested and not able to separate himself. So um, those are pros and cons um, for participatory research. Question number 2 we had, according to Weiss, the key differences between the qualitative interviews and survey interviews. Survey interviews, we all said, tend to allow you to do better statistical analysis. So because the answers are structured, you can actually do some data manipulation and establish some good statistics that you can use. However, the con to that is the strength of the qualitative, which is that it allows you to get a deeper view. It allows you to get a broader view because participants can actually go into more depth. So it may allow you to gain more knowledge than you would have just doing a basic survey type question. So one of the things that we all said was that it really allows you, or that they're not mutually exclusive, that when you are doing research, um, both of them are valuable. Both of them provide some great information. So, we shouldn't, pit one against the other. Going to the first question about what we're scared of, and then so our fears, and then also using zombies and ghouls and skeletons and cool stuff. So we all kind of share some similar fears, but I will just kind of go through in general, and I don't want to call anybody out on their specific fears, but we talked about how it can be scary to actually speak for the group and be their voice because that really means something, and you want to give that a lot of credit and a lot of due because that's a very important thing to be able to have a voice for a group. Um, Scared of talking to new people, scared of being very introverted and reaching out and trying to engage with other people. Um, Also, scared of maintaining a distance, and then the fear of never really feeling like you're getting there. You do all this research, you try to understand, but you never really feel like you're achieving, um, really understanding what it is to be part of the group. So those are some of the fears. Um, and as far as our examples, um, we have a wide variety. Um, I will say that Jacqueline mentioned zombies. Kristen mentioned zombies. Um, Jacqueline brought up vampires, which was completely cool. Um, said that she loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I have to agree. Buffy's a great show, and more importantly, a great role model for women. And she contrasts the difference with what we have today with movies like Twilight that tend to romanticize and make the female character kind of the object of, you know, the, you know, lust of the guys. Um, Portraying her as weaker, portraying her as needing that, as opposed to Buffy, who completely was kick ass and didn't need anybody. So um, then I brought up ghosts and ghosts and spirits. I am completely addicted to Ghost Adventurers and was watching that last night. So I actually used the example of how you go through and conduct research using ghosts. So I think that's important because you never know when you're going to need to do that. Um, Kayla picks skeletons because she likes things to be real, and so um, all of these topics I think were a little out there for her because it's not real, it's not important. But she's kind of going on a stretch here with skeletons, and props to Kayla for reaching out and kind of getting there. But I have to say, the coolest answer is Kara. Kara knows more about zombies than any person I can ever imagine. I did not know this much about zombies, and now I feel extremely well educated. If you haven't watched Kara's video, please watch the first part of it because her knowledge of zombies is completely amazing. Um, I mean, way more about zombies than I even think there was to know about zombies. So that's why I saved it for last. Way to go, Kara, for like the coolest answer on question ever. So happy Halloween, and this concludes Halloween edition, Group 2. And cross your fingers because I'm going to try and upload it, and I hope it works. So yeah, fingers crossed. All right, here we go.